FPL Gameweek 19 tips and tricks coming right up. To another video. This is yet another FPL video, one of my favorite videos to make, and this is a double game week, so there is so much to unpack and get into for this game week. But before we do all of that, please take a moment to like this video if you haven't done so already, because it really helps me out, and subscribe to my channel because that would just be so awesome. Don't forget to turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. I have a lot of content coming up. But with that being said, let's get right into this game week. So this week is a double game week. What does that mean? Double game week is when you have teams that play 2 times in 1 week. So what we want to try to do is look at all of the teams that are playing 2 times and then maximize the amount of players that we have from those teams. Not to fear, I've put together a graphic for you so you can easily see which teams are playing twice. In the top line, they're highlighted in red, and except for that one Aston Villa team that's highlighted in red in the second row. The teams that you want to be focusing on to try to get players from them: West Ham, Burnley, Fulham, Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Newcastle, and Aston Villa. I've also gone to the liberty of marking which fixtures I think are going to be easiest, so you can try to prioritize players that way, and the easiest fixtures are marked in green. The ones that I'm not too sure about, I feel that they could go either way, are marked in blue, and the difficult fixtures I left in white. As a general rule, I try to avoid picking too many players that are playing in big games because we don't really know which way it's going to go. So for example, that Liverpool-Manchester United game really is a toss-up. It's the first team versus the second team, and it could go either way. So take that into consideration when you go transferring in your players. But in this game week, you also want to look at the second teams that they're playing because you could get a lot of points off of that. So there's really a lot to take in, but I've gone ahead and picked out some players that I think that you should keep an eye on for this game week. First, let's take a look at some goalkeepers. First up is Emiliano Martinez from Aston Villa. He's played 5 in the last 5, averages about 3 saves per game, and gets about 4.8 points per game, which is very good for goalkeepers in my opinion. Not only that, but he's going to be facing Man City, so chances are he's going to have to make a lot more saves. Aston Villa are a good team. They're in the top half of the table and could be fighting for top 6 this year, so I do think that he would be a good choice because with all of those saves that he'll probably make will probably come points or bonus points, so he could be a very good option for this game week. And not only that, but Aston Villa do play twice. Next up from Burnley, we have Nick Pope. He's averaging a little bit over 3 saves per game as well, and just over 4 points per game. I chose him because he's playing against West Ham and Liverpool, which are going to be very difficult fixtures for Burnley. I do think that they're the underdogs in both of these fixtures, and I do think that Nick Pope is going to be forced to make a lot of saves, especially against that Liverpool side that are just so dominant attacking wise. So once again, for the amount of saves that I think that he might have to make, I think that he could be a very good option for this game week. Now let's move on to some defenders. Out of the 3 that I'm going to show you, 2 of them are City players, and soon you're going to see why I suggest getting them so highly, because really their stats are just remarkable. So first up is Ruben Diaz, and if we take a look at the total clean sheets, he has 8 clean sheets so far in the Premier League this season, and more importantly, out of the last 5 games, 3 of them have been clean sheets as well. So it really shows you that they've been getting clean sheets consistently, but very much recently as well, they're getting clean sheets. So you can hope that those clean sheets are going to keep going on in the future. He doesn't have any goals or assists, but he does average about 3.27 points per game. I also wanted to take a look at the points per game on average in the last 5 games, which jumps up to 4.8, which basically tells you that he has improved massively, or the team has improved massively defensively going forward in the season. And not only that, he in the last 5 games he's averaging almost 5 points a game, so he's a really good defender to have in your team. Next up, also from City, we have Joao Cancelo. He has 7 clean sheets so far in the league this season, and again, out of those last 5 games he's had 3 clean sheets. He has 1 assist so far in the league and averages just over 4 points per game. But again, looking at that metric of the last 5 games, he does average about 4.8 points. So I think that he could be a really good buy. Not only that, but City are playing Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. I do think that they're going to win both of these games and they're likely to keep a clean sheet, especially in that Crystal Palace game. I think that they will. So I think that he could be a really good buy for your teams. You could even have Cancelo and Diaz together. I once had Zuma and Chilwell together when Chelsea were getting a lot of clean sheets. It really could be a good formula for clean sheet points, but you also run the risk that if City don't get a clean sheet, then that's 2 players taken out at once. Totally up to you. I would probably opt for just 1 for now. Finally, the last of the defenders that I want to talk about is Aaron Cresswell from West Ham. So in these 2 fixtures, yes, West Ham are playing twice. They play Burnley and West Brom. I do expect for West Ham to beat both of these teams, and I'm hoping that they can keep a clean sheet as well. Looking at Aaron Cresswell's stats, he's kept 6 clean sheets in total in the Premier League, just 2 out of the last 5. That's not so bad, 40%. But the real metric that you want to take a look at is that he has 6 assists so far in the league this season. He's averaging about 4.5 points every game. And again, if we take a look at this last game, all of these defenders are very similar. They're all averaging 4.8 points over the last 5 games. I really don't think that you can go wrong with any of these defenders, so let me know if you end up picking them in your team. Now moving on to the attackers, I did group together the midfielders and the strikers because you can kind of change your team depending on how many players you want to have from each of those categories. So first up is Kevin De Bruyne. Honestly, I was disappointed with him at the beginning of the season. I didn't think that he was playing well, but recently he's really been picking it up. So far in the league this season, he has 3 goals and 9 assists, and out of his last 5 games, he has 1 goal and 3 assists. So we do see that out of the last 5 games, he's gotten a large proportion of his goal contributions. So hopefully that momentum can keep going forward for him to rack up even more. He averages a little over 5 points per game out of all of the game weeks, but if we do look at the last 5 games, he's averaging 6.2 points. So that's just a massive increase. It should give you a lot of confidence if you own Kevin De Bruyne that he's going to be earning points, and he's earning much more than he was at the beginning. So I do think that he could be a very good buy. Next up, we have Marcus Rashford. This is a player that I've been wanting to get into my team, but I just haven't found the space for him yet. It could be a bit of a risky option having him against that Liverpool side, but I do think that if any 2 players are going to score against Liverpool, it's probably Marcus Rashford or Bruno Fernandes. So if you have either of those players, you're probably set. But looking at Marcus Rashford's stats, he already has 7 goals and 5 assists in the league so far this season, and out of his last 5 games, he has 2 goals and 1 assist. Now looking at the average points per game, he averages about 5 out of the last 5 games. That average has gone slightly down, but Manchester United do play Fulham. I do think that he will score against this team, or that he has a good chance of scoring against this team. So he could be a slightly riskier option, but sometimes high risk yields high rewards. So he could be somebody to keep your eye on for this game week. And now I wanted to do kind of a crazy out of there option just because a lot of us all have the same players, and that is going to be Mr. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now hear me out, Chelsea do have difficult fixtures. This is absolutely a massive risk. It is, because Chelsea play Fulham, they play Leicester, and they have not been in the best of form. But Callum Hudson-Odoi only has 0.3% ownership, so he could be a massive differential for you. Not only that, he's only played 3 out of the last 5 games, but he's scored 1 goal and 1 assist in the last games that he's been playing. So I do think that he could be an option. He seems to be in very good form, and if you're looking for a riskier option that's kind of cheap, you could potentially go with Mr. Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's averaging just over 4 points a game, and I think that he could average more. It is a risk because we don't know who Frank Lampard is going to start. It could be Pulisic and Ziyech, but Callum could definitely make it into that team. So high risk again could potentially yield high reward, that he doesn't have much ownership, but is it a risk that you're willing to take? I don't know, but just wanted to throw that one out there for you guys. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've definitely loved making it for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below and I'll try to get to them as fast as possible. As always, if you like this video, please drop it a like, subscribe to my channel, really means the world, and like share this video wherever you can. Like that would be super cool. So thank you so much for watching. I'm out.